October 2022 is in the books. I hope y'all watched plenty of spooky movies. I myself was able to watch 14 movies in October. Not as many as I would have liked, unfortunately, but I got busy with a couple of things. But I got my letterbox open right here. I'm gonna be doing a quick ranking of the horror movies, Halloween themed movies that I watched in October, starting with my least favorite all the way to the ones that I enjoyed the most. So kicking things off, we got Hocus Pocus 2. Now I gave this, I believe I gave it 1.5 stars. I just was not impressed. I was hyped for this movie. I'm a big fan of the original. I grew up with the original, and this one just did not do it for me. I was not a fan of how they it just felt like a cheap cash grab, to be quite honest. And you can say the same thing about pretty much any remake, reboot, sequel, whatever, at this point. But not much to say about that one. Next is The Mummy from 1932. And I thought I was going to enjoy this one a little bit more. I was kind of bummed that we didn't even get to see the mummy, the actual mummy. It feels like he got almost no screen time. I just wasn't interested in Imhotep, the character. I wasn't interested in his story, his motives. It was boring, to be quite honest. I gave it 1.5 stars. Not a fan. And it has nothing to do with the fact that it's in black and white, that it's an older film, because I like older films. I liked Frankenstein, for example, another Universal classic monster movie. But The Mummy it didn't do it for me. Next up, we got Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Now, I will admit, I was a fan of the concept for this movie. Like, the whole idea of killing innocent families on Halloween sounds interesting, sounds intriguing. But the way it was executed, I just wasn't a fan. The robots in suits, just like, what's up with that? Did I miss something? I don't know. Usually a fan of Tom Atkins. However, in this movie, I found his character to be a bit unlikable. It's definitely not the worst in the Halloween franchise, but it's far from the best. I would not rank it anywhere near the top. Halloween Ends. I give this 3 stars. So pretty much anything from here on out I enjoyed. Halloween Ends was fine. Like, if this was just a standalone film, kind of like Halloween 3, I feel like I would have liked this way more. But as a conclusion to a trilogy, it just didn't make any sense to me. I mean, personally, it's just this Corey Cunningham character came out of nowhere. And I get what they were going for, I guess, maybe with the themes and the messages and, evil, just how it can be transferred, kind of how they did back in Halloween 4 with Jamie Lloyd. But you're concluding a trilogy here. It should have been a Laurie and Michael showdown from start to finish, and we didn't get that. So just because of my expectations, I was a bit let down. Overall, I did enjoy it. I thought it was fine, but a bit let down. It's Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. I really do like this one. I do like the aesthetic of the film, the atmosphere, the characters. Jamie Lloyd, Rachel, Dr. Loomis, of course, is involved. Everything about the movie is pretty enjoyable, except for the mask. Of course, people always say that, and it's true. It's a horrible mask. I mean, what were you all thinking? But no, in all seriousness, I thought that it was definitely like a good continuation. If you were gonna take this franchise in a new direction, I thought that was somewhat clever, and I do like the character of Danielle Harris. Plays an interesting character that I do like her storyline, and Halloween 4 is definitely up there for me as far as like the Halloween movies go. I would definitely put it like somewhere in my top 4, top 5 of the Halloween movies. Halloween Kills. My rating for it went up a bit because I guess I knew what I was going in for. Like, the first time around, I was disappointed for sure. upon the rewatch, I appreciated it a little bit more. I was able to just enjoy it for what it was. The kills are brutal. Michael is a beast. I mean, the characters are dumb, of course, and Laurie is kind of sidelined there. But overall, I think Halloween Kills was a fine movie. It's not the worst. Next up, this was a first time watch. That's 1974's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I really enjoy like that dark, gritty aesthetic to the movie. You know, that Texas heat. You just feel like you're there with the characters in the farmhouse, and it's terrifying. And one of the most terrifying movies with the least amount of gore that I have ever seen. Just because of the just how creepy Leatherface and his family is, just makes you like never want to wander off into, you know, knock on a stranger's door or something like that. But I enjoyed it. I can't believe it took me this long to watch this movie, but I'm glad I finally watched it. Next up, the only Hocus Pocus that exists in my heart, the original, gave it 4 stars. Not because I think that it's a well-made movie. I just have a lot of nostalgia for it. The atmosphere, the aesthetic, the Halloween vibes, the Sanderson sisters, they're all great. I grew up with this one. I love it. It has a special place in my heart. So I fully acknowledge it's silly, but I enjoy it. I like it. This was a first time watch. This was 2011's You're Next. And I did give this a lower rating than Hocus Pocus, even though this is higher on the list. And that's because, well, I just get more enjoyment out of Hocus Pocus, but I acknowledge that You're Next is a better overall movie. It's definitely like, it was definitely a hidden gem. I hadn't heard much about it. There was quite a bit of like tropes and twists that this movie took that to me were very predictable. Maybe just because it's been out for over 10 years and it's been done time and time again. Perhaps at the time it was groundbreaking. I don't know. Let me know if you saw You're Next when it first came out. Was it like something spectacular? The main character, played by, I believe it's Sharni Vinson. I guess that's the actress who played the lead. I liked her character. I liked the story. I like the direction. The ending was definitely entertaining. So You're Next. I mean, I'm glad I finally watched it. That was definitely a fun time. All right, so this next movie is the only one that I caught in theaters, and that's Smile. This is the scariest movie that I've seen all year. I haven't seen a ton of horror this year, but this is definitely the scariest. It's not the best horror movie. I still give that to Barbarian. Smile is the scariest. Reminds me of It Follows, kind of like follows that same concept, but Smile just puts a little spin on it, and it was very well done. And of course, Sosie Bacon, great performance. She's fantastic. This next movie actually was a rewatch, and that's Sweeney Todd, Demon Barber of Fleet Street. I was able to watch this with Ed and Haley, who are over at Fans of Something. So shout out to them for inviting me to their channel to do a watch along of this movie. And I missed quite a bit because, of course, you know how watch alongs go. You kind of start chatting up and you miss some parts of the movie. Luckily this was a rewatch, so I did remember some parts, and Ed was able to explain to me some things that I had missed maybe the first time around, and I was able to appreciate this movie a lot more upon this rewatch. Not the biggest fan of musicals, but this is definitely a classic for good reason. I enjoy it. Yeah, Johnny Depp is great. Helena Bonham Carter is great. The great Alan Rickman, can't go wrong. Just a great cast, great music. All right, so 3 movies to go here. So number 3 on my list here is Poltergeist. I counted this as a rewatch, even though I haven't seen it in years. I remember the first time I watched it, it just scared the crap out of me. This time around, I guess I've become more accustomed to horror movies. At the time, I was like a horror newbie, so anything would have scared me. Probably, Hocus Pocus probably scared me back then, but Poltergeist, it wasn't as scary as I remember, but it does have its creepy moments. The effects are a little bit dated, but man, that great acting by the kid actors, and the score, my goodness, that score is freaking really adds. Great horror movie, classic for good reason. And if you have a 4K player, you own 4K movies, this is one of those like demo worthy 4Ks in my opinion. I think it looks great. Coming in at number 2, this is a movie that I feel like gets overhated quite a bit. That's It Chapter 2. Now, I enjoyed it. I like it. I think that the pros outweigh the cons. Like, I get its flaws. I get it's not a masterpiece, but it's supposed to be a horror movie. It's supposed to scare you. And it did that. It has so creepy, imagery, effects. To me, Pennywise is freaky. I mean, if I saw that clown on the street, I would run in the other direction. Okay, especially when he turns into like big giant old ladies. No. This was actually my first time watching this in theaters, and of course the things that stood out to me back then, they still hold up. Great acting, great casting. The casting is probably the best part of this movie. I really believe that this is a satisfying conclusion to the story, and that's good. That's good enough for me. I gave it 4.5 stars. It's a good movie, man. It's a good movie. If you're iffy about it and you haven't seen it in a while, I know it's lengthy, but give it a shot. Coming in at number 1 on my list, the best horror movie that I watched this month, in my opinion. Of course, I keep saying that. It's my video. Of course, it's my opinion, but that's Child's Play. A horror classic. Chucky's a horror icon. I gave this 4.5 stars, so not quite at the 5-star level, maybe upon a few more rewatches. To be quite honest, just throwing it out there, this is the only Child's Play movie I've seen. I'm planning on watching Child's Play 2 pretty soon, if not tonight, so by the time this video goes up, maybe I've already seen it. Unfortunately, it didn't make the cut for this video and for October, but yeah, this is a great horror classic. I love how they mix in a little bit of comedy as well, and great kills, great characters. I mean, what else can I add? What else can I say that hasn't already been said? That's gonna be it, guys. That's all I watch in the month of October. There's my ranking, so not too bad. Not a bad list, if I do say so. Wish I could have watched a little bit more. Of course, at the beginning of October, my watch list was super long. I got through maybe like a quarter of that list. You know how it goes. But let me know what y'all watched in October. Which other movies did you watch? Any of the ones that I watched? What do you think? What do you think of the movies? Let me know what y'all watched. But once again, thank you all for clicking on this video. Please like, subscribe, and if you like seeing content like this, definitely stick around. And I hope y'all have a great day, and thanks for watching.